taking place. Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the NBA, the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crime.
At Dallas. This is her second stint with
Rickea and
look Griner. Griner and Jackson.
Absolutely no sense for you to, on one hand, say you're standing up for women's rights and women's pay, and then on the other hand saying it's criminal that a biological man plays in women's sports. As you are competing in women's sports and not the NBA, if you felt like there was no difference, there was no advantages that men have, then why don't you play in the NBA?
You at Dallas. This is her second stint with
Rickea and
look Griner. Griner and Jackson.
Boy, that developed very quickly.
Rickea Jackson just jumped headfirst into the Brittney Griner drama, and the twist she dropped is wild. She's blowing the lid off a beef that's been brewing for years between the two, and now we finally know why things have been so tense behind the scenes. And yeah, it's all connected to those shady rumors that have been floating around about Brittney lately. But here's the kicker. Rickea claims she uncovered Brittney's real identity. And it's nothing like the polished image the WNBA pushes to fit their so-called inclusive narrative. For the longest time, Rickea kept it to herself, focusing on her career and staying out of trouble. But now that people are calling her a drama starter, she's done playing nice. She's ready to air it all out and let the fans decide who's been fake this whole time. This isn't just drama. It's a full-blown soap opera, unraveling right in the heart of the league. The WNBA used to be one of the quietest leagues around, but lately, it's been non-stop controversy after controversy. And now, it's Rickea versus Brittney in a beef that caught everyone off guard. Rickea ain't pulling any punches either. She's spilling major secrets about how she discovered Brittney was being propped up as the face of the league's progressive image.
Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. One of the videos that give us cause to say that is this video. It is from her Instagram stories from years and years ago. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a female chest, we have to take this down. Oftentimes, if breast cancer runs in a family, women will preemptively get like double mastectomies. There are some great surgeons out there, don't get me wrong, but I don't see any scars on Brittney's chest that would be indicative of a double mastectomy or top surgery for gender transition.
But what's really got people talking is how Brittney, according to Rickea, broke one of the WNBA's most basic player rules. And nobody did a thing about it. Yep. According to Rickea, this is exactly the kind of shady move Brittney Griner's been pulling. But the real jaw-dropper? How Rickea actually found out the truth behind one of the WNBA's biggest hidden secrets. It all kicked off back in September during a heated Mercury versus Sparks game. And things got real ugly. With just 20 seconds left before halftime, Rickea and her teammate Lee Guru went in for a textbook box out on Brittney. Totally standard defense, nothing dirty. But then, out of nowhere, Brittney swung her elbow hard and nailed Rickea right in the face. And let's be real, Rickea wasn't just gonna take that and walk away. She stepped straight up to Brittney, and the two had to be pulled apart by teammates and coaches before it exploded even further. Both players got fouled out, but when they hit the court again later, it was obvious who had the crowd's support. And it wasn't Brittney. The fans were stunned by the whole thing, and the incident quickly became the story of the night. Brittney was clearly the one who started the chaos, but what sent everyone over the edge was how she brushed it off afterwards. When she finally spoke on it, she gave the coldest, most detached answer. It's basketball. Stuff gets heated, like there's nothing personal. I like Rickea. I like her game, so no hard feelings or anything like that. Seriously? That's how she plays it off after elbowing someone in the face on live TV?
Can you not play? Do you have an advantage or are you at a disadvantage? It's not even that hard. Biological men don't play against biological women. Why? Because they will be dusting you off all day long. Do you think that Brittney Griner can play in the NBA? F no. She wouldn't even make any team in the NBA. Brittney Griner wouldn't make a single NBA team roster. None. She wouldn't even be on a practice squad. And you know what they do during training? This is what makes me infuriated. You know what the women do when they train in basketball? They play against men who are not professional. Because the women ain't gonna push them to be better. The men are gonna push them. And she know that, I know that, you know that. But they still get on stage and be disingenuous and foolish. Nobody's trying to block a transgender for playing sports. You just can't cheat, bruh. Why is there no trans man being ousted in sports? Why? A woman turned into a man. Why don't we see an example? Show me an example of a woman turning into a man and winning first place. Because we know it don't happen.
Yeah, basketball's physical, but intentionally taking someone out and then acting like it's no big deal? That's on a whole different level. This goes way beyond bad sportsmanship. It felt like straight up malice, and it all happened right in front of a national audience. But the real drama? That was just getting started. See, Rickea wasn't some newbie when that elbow hit her face. She'd been around the league long enough to know what's normal, and what's not, and what Brittney did. That wasn't just heat of the moment intensity, it was too aggressive, even for a high-stakes matchup. That moment lit a fire in Rickea. She started digging, asking questions, connecting dots, and what she uncovered flipped her entire view of the league upside down. From day one, Rickea suspected the WNBA had some deep secrets, but she never expected this. Turns out, one of the league's biggest stars was allegedly playing under false pretenses, and no one was saying a word. And who was this protected player? None other than Brittney Griner herself. What shocked Rickea the most wasn't just the truth about Brittney. It was realizing that the league knew about it and still had her back, just to keep up a progressive image. That protection explained everything. The confidence, the unchecked fouls, the way Brittney walked on that court like she was untouchable. Rickea started connecting the dots, and suddenly, all those reckless fouls Brittney threw over the years made perfect sense. Her track record is full of controversial moments, and they've all been caught on camera.
Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about. Especially something like this. Fans in every sport. She described the fans.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena. In every arena. So, and then when you, clearly she's not remembering who they let out to get her back.
The
on
Merchant
American
of
soil.
Death.
The Merchant of Death. An arms dealer that wanted to kill American citizens, according to the reports. That's who they let out. Mm-hmm. For her. You would think that you would be smiling, you would be ecstatic, you would be happy, and something like this wouldn't faze you at all. The fact that it does is disturbing. I'll leave it at that.
How many times do players have to leave games bruised up before someone calls it out for what it is? Teammates, opponents, everyone's been talking about it. From practice injuries to players limping off the court during real games, Brittney's name keeps popping up. And don't even act like you haven't seen the clips. She's been caught getting way too physical with multiple players. Even folks who just started watching women's basketball have seen those viral clips of Brittney going way too hard on Caitlin Clark. Rickea saw the pattern, the aggression, the silence, the protection, and she knew something deeper was going on. She couldn't ignore it anymore. There had to be more to the story. So here's the real question. Everyone's been whispering. How does Brittney always walk away without a scratch, while other players end up sidelined for weeks with injuries? Something wasn't adding up, and it didn't take long before folks started connecting the dots. more and more people began pointing to the same theory. The reason Brittney has such a wild physical edge over nearly every other player in the league is because she might not be playing on a level field. Let's be real, there's a reason why men's and women's sports have always had separate categories. It's not about ego or drama, it's science. Medical experts have spent decades researching how male and female bodies perform differently in sports, from muscle structure, lung power, and body weight, to stamina, height, and even recovery speed. This isn't a new debate. It's why sports worldwide have gender categories, because fairness in competition matters. So what happens when one athlete in a women's league shows strength and physical dominance way beyond the expected level? People are going to start asking questions, and rightfully so. Now, here's where it really gets strange. Brittney once posted a video online where she appeared topless. And guess what? Instagram's AI didn't flag it as nudity. No warning, no removal, no violation notice. Let's be honest, if any other woman had posted that exact same content, their post would have been taken down in seconds. So what happened here? Was the AI just confused? Or was something else going on? And then came the bombshell.
Griner was caught on tape during a game with the Indiana Fever, dropping racial slurs against Caitlin Clark. I mean, pretty obviously doing so.
Tech fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
And it doesn't take a lot of genius to lip read Brittney Griner, whose voice, by the way, is about as low as mine is, calling her trash and an effing white girl. Now, of course, if Caitlin Clark had ever suggested the same in reverse, using black as opposed to white in that sentence, that'd be the end of her WNBA career. But Brittney Griner is going strong. It's totally.
While digging deeper, Rickea claims she came across some leaked medical documents, and what she saw backed up everything people had been speculating behind the scenes. According to what she found, Brittney Griner might not be who she says she is. Rickea didn't just stumble into drama, she fell into a full-blown scandal. But here's the real kicker. How did Rickea even get her hands on this explosive info? Most folks don't know this, but Rickea's not just any player. Her rise in the WNBA wasn't normal, it was fast. So fast, it raised eyebrows and earned her some solid connections in high places. When you're that talented, you don't just collect trophies, you collect powerful allies too. So when Rickea decided to dig into Brittney's background, it wasn't some wild goose chase. She just asked the right people the right questions, and boom, secrets started spilling. At first, their relationship wasn't even that toxic. Last year, they had what looked like a playful rivalry, battling it out on the court but still cool with each other off the hardwood. But after Rickea's discovery, all that fake friendliness faded real quick. What once looked like harmless competition turned into all-out war. And what really lit a fire in Rickea wasn't just the fact that Brittney was allegedly breaking every rule in the book. It was knowing that nobody was doing a thing about it. Even with the truth in hand, Rickea realized it meant nothing. Why? Because Brittney was being protected, not just by the league, but by people way above it. It's like the whole system had her back. And when you look at how far this protection goes, it's chilling. Let's not forget, as Stephen A. Smith reminded us, Brittney was released from a Russian prison in exchange for a literal arms dealer, the dude known as the Merchant of Death. Let that sink in. People love to skip past that little detail. But seriously, in what world does a pro athlete get swapped out for a convicted terrorist? What kind of deal is that? You're telling me there weren't any other ways to bring her home without letting a dangerous criminal walk free? Only possible reason? Brittney Griner was too valuable, not just as a player, but as someone the government and the league were willing to protect at all costs. Because if the truth came out, it would shake everything. Imagine the lawsuits, the media storm, the millions of fans demanding answers. The WNBA's entire brand would crumble. Now, all eyes are on Rickea Jackson, because she's clearly not done. She's got the tea, and she knows exactly how to use it. If she's aiming to expose Brittney's ties to the powerful people shielding her, the league better brace itself for a scandal that could go nuclear. But hey, do you think Brittney suspects that Rickea's coming for her? And what's your take on the WNBA allegedly protecting Brittney behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Juice Alert. And I'll catch you in the next one.